All right, so let's go over a few more examples of when a is greater than 1. So again, we're going to take our 6 and our 10. We're going to multiply that. So our new product is going to be 60. Next step, like we've done in the past, is we're going to write out all of our factors of 60. So you have 1 and 60, 2 and 30, 3 and 20. Continue on. Let's see, we've got 4 and 15, 5 and 12, and then last but not least 6 and 10. So when we go back over and look at our original problem, your magic number that you want to add up to is going to be 17. So we're going to look through our list and find the appropriate one, which is the 5 and 12. So we know we're going to use both positive 5 and positive 12 because it has to add up to 17. So let's just make this a little smaller. So I'm going to rewrite my original problem. So we've got 6n squared, and we're going to split the 17n into 5n plus 12n plus 10. Then we're going to factor by grouping. So you take the first two and last two. The first two, you're going to look at and say, well, what do these two terms have in common? Well, the only thing they have in common is an n. So n gets written on the outside, and then we have to rewrite what's left on the inside, which is 6n plus 5. Next, you look at the last two terms. Again, what is the common factor? Well, 2 goes into each. So we're going to have plus 2, and then what's left is 6n plus 5. So we know we've done something right because our parentheses are the exact same thing. So we're going to go through, write out our final answer, which is going to be n plus 2, because I'm taking what we took out for our GCF, and then 6n plus 5 gets written once, because that's what the two have in common. Alright, next one. Again, we're going through and we're going to figure out what that new product is going to be. So we do 9 times 10 to get 90. So what times what is 90? So we got 1 times 90. I got 2 and 45. You've got 3 and 30. Does 4 go into it? Not evenly. 5 does 18 times. We have 9 and 10, which we listed. 7 doesn't, 8 doesn't. So we've got a pretty good list here. And the nice thing about this problem is our sum has to equal negative 91. So when we're looking at our combination that will work, probably the 1 in 90 is going to have to end up being our pick. We have to make them both negative. So that's where we stand with this. So now that we've got our right combination, we need to go through and just factor by grouping. So we're going to, again, take that negative 91 and we're going to expand it. So it's negative 1n minus 90n plus 10. You're going to take the first two terms and group those. What do those two have in common? Well, they have an n in common, and that's it. What's left is 9n minus 1. And you look at your last two terms. What do these two have in common? Well, they have a factor of 10, but I need to take out a negative 10. Because I didn't make this first term, this negative 90n, when I divide by the negative 10, I got to make it positive. So it'll be 9n, so it's going to match the other parenthesis. And you have minus 1. So final answer will end up being n minus 10, and then 9n minus 1. Okay, one more. So we've got, again, you're going to take your 9 and your negative 32. Okay, we multiply that together. We're going to end up with negative 288. Okay. Next step, we got to go through and list all of our factors. So you've got 1 and 288. I'm kind of disregarding the negative for the time being. You get 2 and 144. 3 doesn't go into it, but 4 does 72 times. So I'm kind of, in the back of my mind, I keep thinking, all right, I got to somehow get 68. I'm going to stop here just because I already found my solution. If I didn't, I'd keep going and saying, does 5 go into it? No. Does 6? And then keep going from there. So the idea is you have this product of negative 288. It's got to add up to 68. So we would have to have a positive 72 but a negative 4 in this case. So let's now rewrite our original problem and then factor by grouping. So I'm going to split up the positive 68v into plus 72v minus 4v minus 32. Okay. Next, factor by grouping. Okay. First two terms have a 9v in common. So we'll have 9v. What's left is v plus 8. So then we're going to look at our last two terms. We find that negative 4 goes into both. So we're going to have minus 4. And then what's left is v plus 8. And all we need to do is write out our final answer. So the parentheses are the exact same thing. So let's write that out first. And then 9v minus 4 was the greatest common factors that we pulled out. And now we're done.